Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists out of pointless things. Why are we flying by this pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is No Arm the Squirrel, and No Arm the Squirrel is located in the SI7 part of Old Town in Stormwind, and he is with Doc Mixel, who I guess is his owner or something. I have no idea, but Doc Mixel's a gnome that helps Alliance rogues, or he used to help Alliance rogues affected by the touch of Zanzel. But here's the thing, No Arm the Squirrel has arms. Why is he named No Arm? There's really no lore behind it. I couldn't find anything. There is a possibility maybe this guy gave him prosthetic squirrel arms or something. But if he did, they have to be some amazing prosthetics because he just looks like he's a, regular squirrel. So there's kind of a mystery behind this one, but I mean, at the end of the day, he is just a squirrel named No Arm, but I guess we'll never know anything more than that. He might just also have a weird spelling of his name, and it's actually Norm, and people think it's No Arm, but it's actually Norm the Squirrel. That's another possibility, but, I don't think we're going to get too much of a deep dive into Norm, No Arm squirrel lore, so that's number 10. 9. Number 9 are the Dappled Hoarder Squirrels, and Dappled Hoarder Squirrels are located in the heart of the forest in Ardenweld and various other spots of Ardenweld, and they're just cool looking. They have tails made out of leaves. If you look real closely, you'll see they have a bunch of leaves for tails, or at least, tails that look like leaves. It's probably more like a camouflage thing. They got these crazy, they're almost like fox Volparen types of ears, and then they have these big glowy yellow eyes. So they're just really cool looking squirrels. And, they're not, they don't have any named character squirrels. They don't have any crazy stuff, but this is what this series is all about. It's about finding the little things and giving them some love. And that's why the Dappled Hoarders are number 9. 8. Number 8 is Kebab Nibbles. And Kebab Nibbles is a squirrel that sits on top of Conan the Dogbarian's head in the Nayeli Lagoon in Krasarong Wilds. And this is just a weird one because there's no comments about Conan the Dogbarian or Kebab Nibbles. I figured somebody would comment on Conan the Dogbarian, but there's nothing on Wowhead. There's really nothing on Wowpedia outside of what I just told you. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, Conan the Dogbarian is clearly a reference to Conan the Barbarian. And maybe Kebab Nibbles is a reference to like the person who thought up Conan the Dogbarian and put him in the game. And they're like, I'm going to be on his head as a squirrel, or like, you know what I mean? Like something like that. But outside of that, I got nothing, man. There's just some Pandaren sitting around fishing, which is great. And I don't know, I like to think that maybe they were both out in the wild and they just stumbled across each other and became animal friends. You know how like in cartoons and stuff that happens. So maybe that's what happened here, the adventures of Kebab and Conan. The adventures of Kebab and Conan will be right back after you hit the like button and subscribe. Sorry, that was terrible. We got to move on. That was number 8. 7. Speaking of squirrels that are standing on top of other animals, we've got Junkie Mo at number 7. And Junkie Mo is a squirrel in the Eye of Azshara that is initially captured by the Violet Sail pirates and held in a pet cage. And you rescue it, and after you rescue Junkie Mo, he's seen standing on top of Speedy 4, which is the turtle's name. These are just phenomenal names. Also, I think Junkie Mo is just either really dirty or he's like on fire because he's just got steam coming from him. Like, how Pigpen from Peanuts Snoopy has all the dust clouds all around him. So I don't know if he's like that because, maybe he's like junkies all dirty and stuff, or like if he's just the squirrel that's got steam coming off him. I have no idea. I would say the first one's probably more plausible, but the whole quest chain is that you help all these animals get away from the pet poaching pirates, and then you bring them back to Dalaran, and that's that. But overall, it's a weird little quest line and a weird thing to find in World of Warcraft, but just the fact that this squirrel is named Junkie Mo is good enough for me to put him at number 7. 6. Number 6 are the squirrels from the Aw Nuts World Quest in Val'sharah. And if you're wondering why the footage here looks very suspicious, it's because we couldn't actually get the world quest to happen in time for the filming of this and recording. And it was like, well, we got to improvise, right? Because you can't just have pointless top 10 with no footage. So here we are. If you've been on this channel long enough, you're used to this type of thing. So Celestine of the Harvest says, what jokester spreads so many acorns around Lorlathil? I realize this task is of the humble variety, but could you relocate some of those squirrels and crack a few nuts while you're at it? And as you can see, here's some screenshots from Wowhead of the squirrels taking over the house and the inn or whatever it is, and then some squirrels on the lamppost. There's one of the acorn nuts that you have to crack. And yeah, you know, that's pretty much it. It's a big squirrel takeover of the town, and you got to help relocate the squirrels, move them around. It's a fun little goofy world quest, and that's why it's number 6. 5. Number 5 is Chufa, and Chufa is a soul shape in the form of a squirrel located in Ardenweld. And I believe this is the only soul-shaped squirrel in the game, unless I'm crazy, which it's quite possible. But a soul shape, if you don't know, is an ability unlocked for members of the Night Fae Covenant. It changes the player's form into that of an animal, blinks them a distance forward, and temporarily increases their movement speed. Critter shapes are smaller soul shape forms that are activated when it's used in a rest area, and Chufa handles the critter shapes, giving you the options to swap forms and even deactivate critter shape effects. And since the arrival of the first mortal soul to Ardenweld, the Winter Queen has granted the boon of soul shaping to the souls who join her realm so that they may tend to the forest even without a mortal body. According to Talora, the Night Elf Wisps are a type of soul shape. And Chufa is just a good guy. He looks out for his other soul-shaped friends. He helps you out, and he's just, he's just friendly. And that's why he's number 5. 4. Number 4 are the angry little squirrels, and you might have guessed it. They're angry little squirrels. They're quite little, actually. They're smaller than most other squirrels. They're very angry, and they have one ability, which is Angry Little Acorn. Viciously throw an acorn at your target, dealing 0 damage. And so the way it works is the elementals come up, and then they just start throwing their acorns at them, like, hey, get out of here. And, they're not doing any damage. Literally, they're doing 0 damage, but they're also part of the achievement, and the meek shall inherit Kalimdor, along with the Alpine Songbird, Hygel Bear Cubs, and Child of Tortola. And that's where you help each of the following critters get revenge on the mean old fire elementals. Hey, you know what? They're contributing. They're trying. And sometimes trying's half the battle, right? So I appreciate these angry little squirrels, even though they are really not doing that much. They're giving it their all. They're fighting for their land, dude. They want this forest, and they're not going to give it up without a fight. And that's why they're number 4. 3. It's broken free. Run for your lives. It's nuts. Number 3 is Nuts. Nuts is a mechanical squirrel that is summoned at the secret lab in Azshara. And in order for hunters to tame this pet, you actually have to have the Mecha Bond Imprint Matrix or be a gnome/goblin. There's also this whole process you have to go through to summon Nuts, which is you have to read this book, and then you have to activate the thorium manifold and the antimatter containment and the flux containment release and the hydrosync router, and then Nuts will spawn. Everyone freaks out, and he just looks around like a normal squirrel. But he's not a normal squirrel. He's a robot, and he's Nuts. And I never even knew about Nuts, but now that I know about Nuts, I actually really want him as a pet. I think it'd be really cool to have a robot squirrel pet, you know? So maybe in my WoW leveling series, we'll actually go and tame Nuts. And that'll probably add on like another 2 years to my WoW leveling series. But I think it'll be worth it. Plus, I think Nuts is just, he's a cool robot squirrel. He's got the green eyes, he's got the metal tail, he's got all the bolts and stuff. And for being a robot squirrel, he actually has a lot of fluid movements. Like, he moves really well. It's almost like he's the normal squirrel with a skin over the top of him. But that can't be it. And that's why he's number 3. 2. Number 2 are the carnivorous squirrels in the Gloomshade Grove in Shadowmoon Valley, and they are guarding the bubbling cauldron, which contains a void-boiled squirrel and 10 to 20 garrison resources. Hooray! The void-boiled squirrel is actually an offhand that I think looks like a squirrel. I didn't actually look if it looks like a squirrel. Now I kind of want to see it. Does it look like a squirrel? It does not. What the shit is this? Why doesn't it look like a squirrel? I guess it's a little like cauldron thing with some bones in it. That should be a squirrel. That's the top comments. This is not actually a squirrel. I am disappointed. That's a missed opportunity, Blizzard. All right, can we please get that patched up? But anyway, these squirrels are actually insane. There's like a bunch of dead squirrels all over. They're like eating each other. They're eating you. They're attacking you. They just keep coming in droves. And it's pretty insane. Apparently, these are most notable for lovely charm collector's kits. But as of February 2016, they no longer give any charms. I can see why. You would just go in here and they just keep spawning and spawning. But It's still pretty insane. I never even knew about this, and if I did do the quest back in the day, I blocked it out of my mind, but it's pretty wild. So I had to put this way up high on the list, and that's why it's number 2. And number 1 is Scholar, and Scholar is a human located in the Tannin jungle, and he sits on a wagon surrounded by squirrels who he occasionally throws nuts to, and if you talk to him, he pelts you in the face with several nuts before realizing you're not a squirrel and says, "Oh, hello, friend. Even in the heart of a war-torn jungle, it's important to take care of the little ones. Hey, come here. Since you took the time to say hello, would you like a gift?" And he gives you a Scholar's bag of squirrel treats, and you can use it to feed the squirrels. And I was like, dude, this guy's awesome. And then I saw that it's a tribute to Scott Collar, a veteran Blizzard employee who passed away from cancer. And then I was like, oh, this is really sad. But still, what a tribute for him, man. He gets to live on feeding the squirrels and handing out bags of squirrel treats. So rest in peace, Scott. And make sure you go get your own Scholar's bag of squirrel treats today and feed some squirrels. And that's why Scholar is number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you want to see some other Pointless Top 10s, you can check out Pointless Top 10 Weirdest NPCs in World of Warcraft and Pointless Top 10 Volcanoes in World of Warcraft. And there's a bunch of other Pointless Top 10s that aren't even listed here. Okay? Okay. See ya.